Hello, everyone. I'm Buford MC, and welcome back to another adventure in GregTech New Horizons, where we are starting off today in the rainy Twilight Forest. So I've just come from a nickel vein, and we are stocked up here on some nickel, cobaltite, garnerite, and pentlandite ore. So I just went here to get a bit of nickel, and this has been a part of a bit of a mining session I've been on. So last time I showed you my clipboard on my mining to-do list, and we're doing quite well on that right now. So I've already got some tin. I got some iron. I got some fuller's earth. I haven't gone from the cryolite ore yet. We haven't really needed it, but we can now tick off the nickel ore. I just got some of that. And we've also picked up some oil sands and some of the magnetite ore, which was actually found in the Twilight Forest as well. I haven't actually found mica ore yet. That one's another one I still need to do, but that one's based off of quests, so we'll see how we do on that. But yeah, so we're going to head back into the base, and today what I want to try and do is I want to try and do some of the initial preparations for the EBF. I'm not going to directly do it just yet. We're not going to directly start making stuff for it today, but we're going to start making some of the new alloys we need in order to make the parts of the EBF. So, yeah, let's head back into the base and get started. So, I'm going to need my hang glider. The portal is right behind me. Where was the portal, actually? There it is. So we're going to head back into the base, and we're going to drop off this nickel stuff. There we go. Ah, so if it's raining in the Twilight Forest, it actually is raining in the overworld as well. Interesting. Right, so let's head back on over then to the base here. And we'll have to dump off these things. I'll take a look at them, actually, as well before we dump them off, because be curious to see what we get from these. A lot of this is new stuff. Pentlandite we've already had, but these ones are actually new. I don't think we've actually had those before. Now, the ore processing area, we have been running a lot of stuff. In fact, we're running overtime in here right now. Take a look at this. We have fuller's earth, we have cassiterite sand, and a little bit of tetrahedrine copper. Most of that's been processed through. Oh, that's the magnetite ore as well. So we have been working a lot in here, and this is what we have. You know, based on the new type filter we have, it seems like everything's working pretty well. Quite happy with this. Over here, we have our sifting area, which is currently still sifting some of our purified emerald ore. And we also now are sifting away at some rubies. These are some extra diamond ore I found. For some reason, we had diamond ore in here. And I just had to pull that. I have no idea how that ended up in there, but I pulled it out. And once the rubies finish, I'll probably finish up with these diamond ore here. But yeah, we now have our wall over here. We have our diamonds, we have emerald, and we now have rubies. The reason we're doing the ruby ore is actually also related to the EBF. So, yeah, everything we're doing right now in terms of processing either has to do with some of the main materials we need, iron, copper, tin, or it has to do with making some part of the EBF. So, for the rubies, the reason we need that is, let's go to multi-block goals and look at the quest quickly. The reason I need that is if we come down here to this cupronickel coil block. So the way you make this, we need the cupronickel, which we're going to make that today. You need this right here, the aluminosilicate wool. Now, you could use mica insulator foil, but that needs mica ore, and I haven't actually found it yet, so we'll probably go with the aluminosilicate wool. The way that is made is inside of an alloy smelter using ruby dust and silicon dioxide, which is something else we have right now, and that's why I went for fuller's earth as well. And you could use something else. You could use sapphire. You could use green sapphire. You could even use nether quartz or Certus quartz or quartzite, but you need two of those. In fact, I might actually use nether quartz or Certus quartz because we're actually going to be doing some stuff with silicon dioxide today as well. So yeah, I've been processing stuff in here. What are we doing right now? That's iron, basaltic mineral sand. I got that as a byproduct of my fuller's earth mining session. So we've been quite busy. And what was in here again? Yes, the cassiterite sand. We need that, and I just heard an enderman. Where is Mr. Enderman at? Must be down below. We don't have our guard to take him out, so let's do it ourselves. Oh, it's a little baby enderman. Okay, easy enough. They did not give me an ender pearl. Alright, we do need to drop these ores off quickly, don't we? Let's do that now. Right, so the nickel ore... Cobalt, in fact, what did these all give us? Let's take a quick look at them before I forget. So nickel ore, if we take a look at that, we will get our hands on cobalt dust. And what's that? Platinum metallic powder dust. Okay, we don't have that one yet. That's a new one. So let's go ahead. What do we have in here right now? Okay, let's just throw the nickel ore in here. All right, next up we have the cobaltite ore. Let's see what that one gives us. I always like to check and see. So this one's just all cobalt. Right, cobalt might be something we need in the future. I think we'll be able to upgrade our tools, actually, once we get the EBF and can actually make cobalt ingots. We do have a couple, but it's not worth it to upgrade now. And there's another Enderman noise. Hold on a minute. Let's go back down. That one's probably a creeper, isn't it? Yep, it is. I'm not in the mood to fight him. I'm just going to leave him be. I need to get another guard down there to take those guys out. I still don't know what happened to him. Really strange what happened there. Right, so the cobaltite ore then is going to give us... Yeah, so we're just going to throw that in there. That's just going to give us a bunch of cobalt. And then I think these other things can be smelted down into a nickel pentlandite we've already dealt with, so iron and sulfur. So throw that one in here as well. And then this is a new one here, I think, the garnerite. So that one is nickel and nickel. All right, so a lot of nickel from that. All right, well, I'll add you to the macerator to-do list. So we got a lot to do in the macerator. And then we do need to dump off some other items as well. The crushed ores and the impure dusts. Quickly do that. This is getting quite full here, isn't it? There's the crushed ores. Lovely. And a couple of other miscellaneous items we can dump off as well. So that should finish you up. And then, you're just full of cobblestone. I'll lock these for now. All right, so let's go dump these off, and then we'll get to work on making some of the new things we'll need in preparation for the EBF. Now, I'm thinking at this point, we're probably going to start actually working on the EBF next episode. That's the current plan. What do we do? Red garnet can go in there. Flawed red garnet will go in there. The lapis lazuli, that can go there. Put you and you there. So we're going to work on the EBF probably next episode. I think we're going to work on that next time. So today's going to be trying to get everything prepared. What are we doing in here? I hear something running. We're making iron rods in here, aren't we? Yep, I'm making some iron rods. In fact, let's throw a stack in the polarizer. That was because I'm needing to get more electric motors. We're starting to run out again. I usually make those about a stack at a time. So that's why we have that. Everything else actually already is coming. There's the copper wires, and I already know you have a ton of tin cables, so shouldn't be too far from being able to make that. Yep, pretty close on that. It's good. Right, so what we're going to need to make now is we need to start making the different parts of this. So we're not going to make the actual pieces, but, you know, we need invar, and we also need to make the cupronickel as well. Now, we do have a little bit of cupronickel. We've made some of that before. But I think that was for forestry, but we're going to need it in larger quantities. Now, I did process some of the nickel we already had, which was from the pentlandite we've gotten from the overworld. So what we're going to do first, we might as well start by making ourselves some of that cupronickel. I actually can't remember if we made some of this. I think we got it, but from like chest and stuff. But let's go ahead. I think it's just a matter of putting nickel inside the alloy smelter. Yep, 1 nickel, 1 copper, and we'll do it into here then. And that should be off and running. How fast are we talking? 16 in 4 seconds. Lovely. Ooh, hello. We got some bronze in here. All right, let's put that away there. So, yeah, we have been stocking up here quite well, I'd say. There we go. Cupronickel, right. So that will give us 4 stacks, I think, from just, you know, 1 stack and 1 stack will give you 2. So that's 4 stacks. All right, so let's get the invar then prepared as well, since that is something else we'll need to do. So invar, yeah, so if we look at the recipe, we need 11 of these, so it needs invar plates and the frame boxes, so all of this is invar. What do we need for that? Okay, furnaces. Do we have any iron furnaces left? Or blast furnaces or something like that? Doesn't look like it. No, I don't see any of those in there, so I'll have to make those at some point. We won't do that yet, though, today. Oh, it's not nighttime yet. I thought it was. It is about to be nighttime, so let's go to sleep right now. There we go. It's 6:32, I think. That's the time when we go to sleep. Right, so we got that done. How are you doing here? Oh, you're already done. Yeah, this thing is fast. Look at all that. We already got a bunch of cupronickel. Sounds like you finished. Did, and I gotta compress these small piles of iron dust every now and then once we get those in. There we go, there's the last bit of that. So I just come along like this, and I basically just have to do that part manually. Get a decent amount of iron dust from that there. Eventually I'll throw that into a smelter, so we can smelt that down. Or was it a furnace, smelter, furnace, whatever. You know, we smelt it all down. Right, so there's the cupronickel. We got that. Do we want to go? Let's do one more stack act. Let's do one more batch of that. No telling how much we'll need going forward, but we might as well stock up because we do need to prepare our invar as well. So we should actually have a little bit we've gotten from loot chests somewhere in here. There we go. 25 invar ingots. Those have come from various loot chests and stuff like that. So let's go and see what we can do with that. So we'll add that now to our wall here, since we're going to need it. So we'll put that there. Right, so how do we make invar dust then? Not invar dust, invar ingots. So invar is going to be from nickel and iron. So it's more iron than nickel. So take... Oh, we'll make quite a bit actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should work. And you're already done again. We'll put the nickel in and some iron. In fact, let's just put all that nickel in, and then I can fill you up with iron. How long do you take? Okay, 24 ingots in 6 seconds. Not bad. There's more cupronickel, right. So yeah, these aren't too hard to make, especially with our multi-block alloy smelter. It does speed things up quite a bit. Put that cobblestone away while I'm thinking about that. Alright, so that was the main pieces we needed of this, so it's actually not that bad. This is the first time I think we've made invar, and we get it pretty quick, so quite good. I'm quite pleased with that. So it shouldn't be too hard to make these different parts when we need to get to that point here. Yeah, we also need to make all these different things here. Some of them we've made the input hatch, I think, but you know, there's different components. All of these need, I believe, machine holes. So that's where the steel's going to come into play. These are new items here. Maintenance hatch, muffler hatch, the energy hatch. I think that's how we're going to power it. So, because this is going to be our first ever multi-block electric machine. So it's going to be quite different. All the multi-blocks we've made up to this point use steam. So this is going to be different. We actually have to give this thing energy. That's a whole nother thing, too. This is going to use a lot of power. So it's going to be a bit of work, but I'm hoping we'll get it all done next time. So, yeah, we've got the basic parts here. Just thinking ahead as well here. It does want a cupronickel wire 2 times, so might as well actually go ahead and get those prepared now. Let's do 2 stacks. Throw those into here. And the invar then... It looks like we need that in plate form, so we might as well get that started as well. We should be in pretty good shape next time then. So invar. We are going to need rods as well, right? Now look at all that invar. Look how quickly we get this. Right, well, I'll let you start running as well. So we should have a lot of these pieces ready to go then. And let's do... Lathe is still doing the iron, but I'll put you in there for now. And also, speaking of the iron... Yeah, let's go ahead and make a stack of those motors as well now. We should have all the parts we need for that. I probably got that the wrong way around, but I'll fix it if we did. No, I get it right. There we go. 1 stack of electric motors just like that. Lovely. It did go in here. I tried to separate it between... here and here, because you do use a lot of motors to make the different components. All right, so we got that done. That's pretty good. All right, how much invar did we pick up? Quite a bit, and that's not even counting the stuff I'm throwing in here. Plates, and then we'll have rods coming along. That'll be good. All right, so we should be in pretty good shape then. All right, so that's the invar and that's the nickel. Right, so that was the first things I want to do today. But there is one more thing I want to do. I want to set up something else today as well, and it might be a bit hard to see, but I have bookmarked this right here. Raw silicon dust, and that is something I want to set up today, and actually, in my backpack, we do have some of that here. So we're going to set that up today. Raw silicon. I'm going to try and get my hands on that as well. So where I'm thinking of doing this is right back here, because we are going to get some oxygen out of this, and we do need to get some more oxygen. So I think I've got it down pat what we're going to do. We're going to need a chemical reactor and an electrolyzer and 2 turbines. That's all we're going to need for this to actually run. So it should be a matter of just doing that. Where is my wrench at? There it is. Okay, there we go. We're going to put the chemical reactor here, and we're going to put the electrolyzer right here. And we're going to grab some barrels. I guess we'll put, yeah, I think we'll do something like that. How many, item pipes? I don't know why we need tin ones. Electron will be good, and we'll need these, and then that. Right, so the process of making raw silicon, we looked at it last time as well. We're going to do that in the chemical reactor by combining silicon dioxide and magnesium dust, which we just picked up when I went mining. Well, not mining, it was from processing. In fact, we already should have some, I think. Let's take a look. We should have some of that magnesium right here. Lovely. So we're going to take a bit, because this is going to be recycled. The magnesium will be recycled into the magnesia. So it should be recycled. In fact, let's just take a stack for now. And we are going to need our silicon dioxide, which we do have. We have a little bit. Probably not. We are processing the Fuller's Earth right now. Yeah, we are processing Fuller's Earth, so we should start getting some more of that here pretty soon. It looks like we already are, so that'll be good. But we have enough to get started for today. And, yeah, we're going to try and get our hands then on this raw silicon. So let's go ahead then and just start the process off and kind of see what happens here. So I don't need to put all of this in here right now, I don't think. We should only need a little bit. We'll start with 16, and then we'll put the silicon. So the silicon's the part that we're going to use up. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the silicon... I'm going to put it here or here. Let's put it here. We'll lock you to raw silicon, and we'll put a conveyor module to import. Because, again, this is basically going to be one of those things I want to drop off the silicon dioxide so we can get a raw silicon from it. So let's just make sure that this is actually going to take it. There we go. That will take that, and we should get raw silicon just like that. There we go, raw silicon dust. So the way this will work is we're going to need to push the magnesia dust into here. The raw silicon dust needs to go into there. Now, the easiest way we'll be able to do that, I think, is... actually, how will we actually be able to do that? It'd be easier if... Okay, actually, I think I have an idea. Let's grab... Well, actually, no, I don't need a dolly. I'll just move the bale here. We're going to move the bale right here now instead, because I think the best way to do this actually might be like this, because I can already imagine the way I was going to do it was just push the raw silicon up there and think that would go into here, but it might actually push the raw silicon at some point too. So this is, I think, more foolproof right here. We'll see how it works. But we're going to set that up there. That is going to go item auto output. There we go. So raw silicon dust goes in there. We lock that. So this obviously has to go in here. And there it goes. It's already running, and we're getting some oxygen out of this. We're getting also magnesium. And the magnesium, we can simply do... In fact, actually, no, I don't think we'll do that. And also... I just had a better idea. Can I come back here for a moment? Yep, I can. We're going to redo this part a bit. I'm going to send... Yeah, we're going to send this, actually. Yes, let's do it like that. We're going to send that through there. The reason is we're going to get oxygen out of this, and we need to push the oxygen up, because that's going to be added to our tank over here. So, I'll grab some tin pipes probably to cover that up in a minute. So, we have this. And basically, let's turn that off. Just going to do something like this. It should do what I want it. It should push the oxygen. Is it going in? Well, no, I have to set the output part, but I'll get there. Put all the arrows on this first. Right, so now I'm going to set you to go up, and we're going to put the fluid auto output. Is that going in? How would I know if it's going in? No. That filled with hydrogen. How did that fill with hydrogen there? Maybe, because I didn't set the directional output. Right. That's hydrogen. Okay, my bad. Alright, this should work fine if I don't let it connect to that pipe first. So now it's filled with oxygen. We have to put the arrow. Okay, now we should be safe. Oxygen. Alright, there we go. And oxygen is going in. Lovely. Alright, so oxygen's coming out of there. Now we have to deal with getting the magnesium dust back into the chemical reactor. And that's just going to simply be from that. That should work. We will confirm in just a moment. You know what? I just had a better way of doing this, actually. What is this pipe here? Water. Just had an even better idea of doing this. Right. This will hide things, and that does look like it's working. Yep, magnesium dust went back in. Let's do this. We're no longer going to have you do that. Why am I grabbing a crowbar? We're just going to push you now to the back, actually. Because what we're going to do is... Actually, will that work? No, it's not going to work. The silicon already went in there. Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to work like that. Right, we'll just keep it as is. Let's take the silicon out of here for a moment. No, I don't want it going in there. Let's get that thing going back up. Yeah, the silicon, the way the pipes seem to work is they go to their closest destination that they can. Take you off. We'll cover that up there. I need to put a door on this wall here. Let's just check this again. So we're getting magnesium. That seems to be getting cycled through. Silicon dioxide. Or silicon. We seem to have done it. Lovely. All right. So there we go. Lost silicon. And this seems to just run. We do get a decent amount of oxygen. So that is quite good. I'm quite happy with that. Right. So let me quickly... I don't think we need extra magnesium dust from this. So this seems to be running at a pretty decent clip here. So that's good. I'm quite happy with that, actually. So let's go to sleep since it is nighttime once again. And let's go ahead and put that magnesium dust back down there. And also while we're down here, actually, let me show you a few other things, because I have done some other stuff down here now that I'm thinking about it. So let's put that there. So let's go quickly take a visit to the oil processing area over here. So we still have a tiny bit of oil left. It's actually only being run right now to make the refinery gas, because all these other things actually completely full up now. And we actually have a ton of refinery gas right now. But look at that. We still have a ton of polyethylene. And we're still running stuff over here. But the big difference you might notice is all the hydrogen sulfide is now no longer in this tank. And that's because it's now being directly routed over here into this low voltage fluid tank, where it's now being processed into sulfuric acid. I just figured that'd be the best use right now of it. And we are getting more sulfuric acid because of that. So that's been quite a nice little thing. And I figure that'd be quite useful. And also, another thing I'm thinking about, this is something else I'm thinking about. So we recently made the polyethylene, right? So if we come over down here, this is where we have our circuit area. And the reason we moved it down here was because we get a ton of refined glue, and this is completely full up. We get that from over here, which nothing's running because we're completely full up on refined glue right now, so I might have to do something about that. But basically, the reason we have it here is because refined glue is needed in order to make resistors, and it's needed in order to make the circuit boards. Well, if we take a look at the recipe for the circuit boards, I have discovered that now that we have polyethylene, we have a better recipe for them. We can now make 16 for the same cost with just a little bit of polyethylene compared to the refined glue. So because of that, I think we might actually move this back upstairs again because it'll be more convenient for us. I'm not going to do that right now, but I think it will be. We'll just have to have some tanks of refined glue, polyethylene, the different fluids we'll need, but I think we can manage that. So I'm thinking of moving that upstairs again. And what else is there? Again, oil, but got a little bit of it left. I might have to plug in the new oil spout. Oh, there was one other thing I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about how are we going to power the EBF? I think I'm going to initially try and power it with steam, because the EBF itself, and I do hear an Enderman. Let's take him out while we're talking. I'm thinking of powering the EBF by using steam at first, and... Nope, I didn't get him. But I will get him in a moment. So I'm thinking of using steam to power the EBF. Oh no, he's gone. Is he on the map somewhere? Don't see him. He's gone. Alright, so we're going to use steam initially. At least that's what I'm thinking. I think we've got enough power to do with steam. We might not, but... we're doing okay. This thing's still actually doing fine, so... We'll see. But my backup plan, if steam does not work, is we could use this light fuel we're getting. Or at least we're getting until it's completely stocked up, because light fuel's actually a pretty good power source. So that's what I'm thinking about in terms of powering the EBF, but we'll see how that goes. So, yeah, how are we doing in here? Full as earth. And all this stuff here. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff still to add. We already processed all that nickel. Yeah, I'm going to have to add a lot of stuff to that. This guy's going to be real busy. But yeah. So yeah, that is kind of what I've been thinking. I've been doing some stuff, and I've been pretty much it's all kind of beginning preparations on the EBF, and I see that Enderman on the map again. Is he in here? I hear him, but I can't find him. Where are you at? Where is he at? I'm going to get that guy. Let's take him out. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. He teleported away, didn't he? Okay. Well, that guy's really distracted me, hasn't he? No, he's up here. There he is. I'm trying to do something in my crafting area. And we got a quest as well. Time to kill Enderman. Lovely. Alright, well, that's enough for distractions right there. So yeah, we've got a lot to do. The EBF and, oh, one more thing also. I keep saying that, don't I? But... the EBF, what I'm planning to do, this is something important, actually. We're going to put it, I want to put it in this room here. It's got to come up in the main area because it's going to be quite important. We have to use it for a lot of stuff. So we're going to move the EBF up into here. And I think we're going to move these. I don't think we're going to completely stop using them because they are quite useful. But I think we're going to move them over to here. And I think I'll do the same thing with the chunks I did before. So maybe against this wall so the pollution's back there. But, yeah, that's something else about the placement. But we'll look into that more next episode when we actually start making the components. But we're definitely making some big progress. Oh, my goodness. What did you do? Why did you put dirt in my machine room? Right. Alright, so we do actually need to end off doing the quest we did. We do have a couple to turn in. I think they're the ore ones. This one right here. Oil, sand. Give me some food. Steam age loot bag of 16 cells. You know, I'll tell you what. I'm going to take the cells on this one because I don't think we're going to get anything better from a steam age loot bag. And then down here, we also have magnesium source. So this was the magnesite. And that one, we'll take an LV loot bag. All right, any other quests? Let's see, anything here? Oh, speaking of quests, actually, there is one I want to complete. It's not going to be a hard one. It was not there. Getting around. It was this right here, the carbon fiber canoe. We just need the raw carbon mesh, which we made that last time when I was doing the... what would they call? The item filters. We just need 8 of them inside of the extruder with the boat shape. And that will complete a quest very quickly, so that shouldn't be too hard. So let's put some of these things I don't need on me in here for a moment. Right, loot bags there. We'll open those up in a moment. Any other quests I need to turn in? Actually, we did do the Enderman one, didn't we? Oh, we got one here as well. Ah, this is the nickel vein. Almost forgot about that. So that will give us some food and another loot bag. So 2 LV loot bags there. We'll put the food into here. Sort that out later. And we should also have our canoe as well. That would be a quest. There we go. We got to test it out because it is a boat. We might as well. I mean, it's just going to be a boat, so I don't expect too much. I think it's indestructible. Yep, it's a boat. Where did that go? There it is. All right, we'll add it to our little boat chest right there, and that should be a quest. So, getting around, and you're going to give me Transportation 2 class loot bag. And then there was one more down here, the Enderman one we just completed. There we go. And you'll give me more coins. And this quarter heart thing. Which I'm still not sure what you do with those. Right, so we got all of that. And let me just clear out a little bit of this. And we'll go ahead and I think open up our loot bags for today. So, bit of a preparation episode, I'd call this one. We didn't really get too much big stuff done. Just preparing for the next big thing, which is the EBF. It's gonna happen. So, we're getting really close. Yeah, I think we're ready to open these. Right, so let's give it a shot then. So, we'll start with the Transportation 2 class loot bag. Here we go. And we got something interesting. Distant signal. Displays aspect of link controller. I have no idea what that is. And we also got a tank cart. Railcraft. Okay, interesting. Alright, so LV loot bag. Let's see what we get from these. We got a single glowflower seed. Lovely. Not really. And the final loot bag, we got a sheep spawn egg and some cheeseburgers, which we've already eaten. Right. Well, the LV loot bags, we're kind of outgrowing them. We don't get the best stuff from them anymore. But we shouldn't be getting too many more. We shouldn't be far from MV once we get to that EBF. But yeah. So, a little bit of progress today. Oh, we have a little bit of invar left in here. Let's put that away. Right there. But we're making progress. We've got now our... Yep, no, that's potent. It's a cupronickel. Oh, it's that right there. And you're getting the invar as well and all that stuff. So, we should be on our way towards making that EBF next episode. But yeah, we got some stuff done today. Little bit of a stranger episode, I suppose, in terms of what we've been doing. We did some stuff, not really quests, I guess. A lot of results of my mining trip and stuff, but we made some new stuff. The silicon I'm quite happy with. And yeah, we're ready for the EBF, I think, next episode. So we'll see how that goes, I suppose. So yeah, that's where we're going to end it. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.